Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Thank you for your support of this channel. Today I want to continue our influential, inspiring people series, and Elizabeth Warren's name kept coming up on that list. There's a couple of reasons why I want to take a look at her, because I've always felt there's a surprise there with her. I want to go into her future and see what she's doing in the future, where she is, what she's doing. Okay, so let's take a look at what inspires Elizabeth Warren. We'll take a look at her chakras, and then we'll do a general reading as to what the future holds for Elizabeth Warren. All right, so Elizabeth Warren, a fighter. Elizabeth Warren, I have rarely seen someone on that Senate floor or even my own Parliament as on point legally as what Elizabeth Warren is. When she hits heavy, she hits heavy, and she takes those, elements of what we call our democratic society. She takes them to task, and that includes the banks. All right, so let's have a look. So you've got to have courage to do that sort of thing. You've got to, she is persistent, and that I think that was one of the phrases that she mentioned, that she is persistent, or still I persist, or something like that. So Warren is an inspiration to many. She's known as a progressive. She could be a potential VP pick. Every time I read, I can't get a clear answer on that, so I'm not going down that track unless it jumps out. But let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren and have a look at her chakras. So I'll work in the root chakra, or the base chakra, which is our chakra that corresponds with our trust and our feeling of security in the world. It's where it's a foundational chakra. It's formed very, some of the energies or things that affect it are formed very early in our lives. So that is the base chakra, and it is associated with the color red. Then I'll move through to the Sacral Chakra, which is associated with the color of orange. That's our seat of creativity, confidence, sexuality. This is where I feel she brings that. I would be surprised to, or I wouldn't be surprised to see a great deal of strength there, because this is often associated with our drive and inspiration for our careers. Then I'll move through to the Solar Plexus Chakra. That is associated with the color yellow, and this is the seat of awareness, and notches on our belt, the lessons that we learn and how we grow from them, the rites of passage. So we'll take a look at the Solar Plexus Chakra. They are the lower body chakras. They are connected to the higher body chakras through the heart chakra, which is, of course, associated with the color green. The heart chakra is the seat of love, unconditional love, unity, compassion, all of those things. I'd be expected to see something extraordinary there, because she fights so hard for those that need to be fought for, who have no one else to fight for. Then we move to the throat chakra, which is associated with the color blue. And that is associated with all sorts of communications, words, thoughts, emotions even can be communicated. The voice, finding the voice. I'd expect that chakra to be very strong with her. Then we move up to the third eye chakra, associated with the color purpley blue, indigo. That is the seat of intuition, the third eye, our ESP, our instincts, our intuition. And then we move up to the crown chakra, violet, which is our connection to the divine, to spirit. That's our spirituality. That is the pinnacle of our high selves. So let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren's chakras and see what sort of picture emerges. She's an inspiration, and this is the series Inspiring People. She's an inspiration to many. All right, so, and she is a former candidate. She pulled out of the race. I think she was one of the top 3 or 4 left in the race before she decided to give her support. to Biden, Joe Biden. Let's have a look at Elizabeth Warren's chakras. Please show me Elizabeth Warren's chakras. I'm getting the Ace of Cups here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that card appears somewhere today. All right, so Elizabeth Warren's chakras. Show me Elizabeth Warren's chakras. Okay, so the root chakra, we have the Four of Cups. What this tells me is that, again, early life experiences. She may have suffered some sort of disappointment, but she didn't let that phase her. She was able to see often in the tarot cards, 3 cups have been lost and 1 cup is being offered. It symbolizes the choices that we all have, whether we're going to take that cup or whether we're going to sit in our resentment and our disappointment. Now, that's at her root chakra. So there was a lesson I'm going to put a hypothetical forward to you, that there was a lesson early in her life, perhaps in her childhood, that really forged who she is and how she relates to the world in terms of equality. Okay, so let's take a look at the Sacral Chakra, the 5 of Pentacles. Again, I'm getting a draw, the 5 of Pentacles, I'm getting a draw to her early life. But the 5 of Pentacles is those that have been left out of the cold, and this is a money loss. So again, in her Sacral Chakra, something was forged around which highlighted to her what it feels like to lose money, what it feels like not to have money. Let's keep going to the solar plexus chakra. Here she is. Whatever happened when these enlightenments occurred, when these timelines occurred in her past, she did dedicate herself to something. The Knight of Pentacles is a very reliable, forthright, steady kind of energy. It's an earth energy as well. So, solar plexus. It's interesting, isn't it, that whatever happened really charted her course very early on. The heart chakra, isn't that interesting? What we're seeing here is an advocate. This is the 6 of Wands. This is the winning, dedicated, what she dedicated to. Beautiful cards for her, which, from what I know of her, really fits her her personality or her character. There is in her heart chakra this feeling, this emotion of winning through inspiration and passion. So she doesn't give up. That's the thing with her. She does not give up. She will be there when the ashes are, after the fire. She'll be there still, ushering people forward, marshalling them toward action. This is someone who, as I said, likes to win, but not in an egotistical way, because the 6 of Wands is all about inspiration and passion. Fighting the good fight is how I would describe that. All right, I'm going to bring the laptop down so you can see those cards. So we have the 4 of Cups in the root chakra. We have the 5 of Pentacles in the Sacral Chakra. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the solar plexus chakra, culminating in the heart chakra with the 6 of Wands. This is a person who has taken lessons throughout life and has decided to dedicate herself to others. This is what I feel with Elizabeth Warren. All right, let's take a look at the throat chakra. Okay, 9 of Wands. So she, of course, anyone who fights the good fight, a woman particularly, is going to have to defend themselves. So what she's got to watch is getting tired. Perhaps also, now this is the voice, this is using her voice. Being, I guess, mindful of those attacks, those continued attacks on her. She needs to also not burn herself out, because this is another card leading, to the 10 of Wands, all associated with fire. So I haven't looked at her natal chart, but I would take it with that Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands that there is some fire in her chart. So, Nine of Wands, she needs to put boundaries up. She can't be all things to all people. And this, again, is against attacks. So, what happens to her when she's attacked personally? You may not see it, but it does take a toll on her. Let's take a look at the third eye. Third eye chakra, we have worry. So, even though she might not come forward as somebody who does worry, anyone who's in the fight, as I said, it does take a toll. The Nine of Swords, but I'm drawn to that wolf behind her sitting in protection. So despite the slings and arrows, despite the mobilizing of forces perhaps against her, she is someone that does have a level of spiritual protection, I feel. There is this light behind her, and, again, she stands in the light, and she does have a level of protection because of that. Okay, let's have a look at the crown chakra, the Judgment card. This is where she comes into her own. Because the Judgment card is a karmic card. It is about, as I said, she will be there after the fire when the ashes are in the middle of destruction. She will come forward and she will be able to keep going and drive things forward. So very interesting. She's got in her crown chakra one of the most karmic cards in the pack. I wonder what that means. Okay, that's why I feel she's always going to be a surprise package, because in a way, this is the Phoenix. This reminds me of the Phoenix, and that's what I'm getting a draw to. At the end of the battle, there is something that remains and something that rises. So, really interesting, I think, set of cards for Elizabeth Warren. Let's see what's on the at the base. Juggling, walking a tightrope in a way. Now, because she is this fighter, again, taking on Wall Street or taking on the big banks, for example, it's not an easy thing to do. She suffered the slings and arrows of, racist digs at her heritage, and they have hurt her. Even though she presents that, it doesn't worry her, it does. But this Judgment card showing that she comes in at the end of the cycle and at the beginning of able to bring this newness forward. I will do a clarifier on that card. So at the base of the pack, we have the Two of Pentacles. Again, I think she's used to taking on these big fights and knowing that she walks a bit of a tightrope. This is a Pentacles suite. This is a Pentacles suite. This is a Pentacles suite. So she will have, her advocacy will be around financial services reforms in some way. I can see that's why she went where she did. And she's got this heart chakra winning card. Two very interesting cards there. We do have the Empress here, the mother, and so she does inspire women. That's what she does. And here we have the Queen of Cups. There is a nurturing side of Elizabeth Warren, a nurturing and supportive side. She does, with this Three of Cups, I guess, like Sanders brought forward support, for amongst those progressives. She does a bit of that as well. Okay, so Elizabeth Warren, interesting cards there. She's very strong in the heart chakra. She's going to win. Why is she going to win? Because she never gives up. She never gives up, but it does take a toll on her. And we have this Judgment card. This Judgment card in the Crown Chakra, which is our link to the divine. It is our link to our higher self. It is the most spiritual of our chakras. And she has the Judgment card, major karmic card. Also, it is the number 20. Of course, we're in a 2020 year. So maybe this is why I'm getting a draw to she will surprise us in some way. All right, let's have a look. Show me this Judgment card for Elizabeth Warren. Why located in her Crown Chakra. Show me this Judgment card for Elizabeth Warren in her Crown Chakra. The Judgment card. Oh, something is coming out. She is able, again, there at the end of the cycle, the 10 of Wands comes forward, 9 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 10 of Wands. She'll see something through. How interesting. And be there at the beginning, as I said, like the Phoenix. All right, so show me this Judgment card, please, for Elizabeth Warren in the Crown Chakra. What is this Judgment card doing here? Show me the Judgment card in the Crown Chakra for Elizabeth Warren. Show me the Crown Chakra for Elizabeth Warren. Judgment card. Okay. All right, giving and receiving help. At the end of when there is difficult times, she is able to give and receive help. But this is also she's able to give assistance to those that need it. Again, look at the Pentacles, and if you look at her lower body chakras, this card is sometimes associated with loans and debts. So again, we've got this financial reform here and temperance, bringing back balance. Okay. All right, so I've got a pretty good indication now of where she's at. She's very strong in the heart and the crown chakras, and she fights the battle. She fights the good fight, and she has a surprise up her sleeve. Whatever role she's in the future, she will bring balance back into things. Interesting. All right, let's do a general reading for Elizabeth Warren in the current circumstances. Elizabeth Warren. All right. What's coming up for, no doubt that she is inspirational. That's showing there in that reading. And she inspires those to fight the good fight, not to give up. She carries heavy loads. If anything, she's just got to put some boundaries up, because those attacks on her, they do take a toll, like they would with anybody. Okay, Elizabeth Warren, show me what is happening with Elizabeth Warren currently. Okay. All right, so we've got the Temperance card as a signifier card. Interesting. Balance. She's going to be instrumental in bringing back balance, okay? That's the signifier card. It's come up twice, and also it clarified the Judgment card. Temperance. Challenged by the King of Swords. Okay, investigations. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that she is a lawyer, obviously, as I said, a very gifted legal mind. She is a professor, she's a lecturer in law, she's a senator. She is going to play a role, I think, also in December too. There's a pull around the month of December. She could be involved in setting up some sort of investigations, and I go back again to the Six of Pentacles. Could be financial. Yeah, okay. So we've got the King of Pentacles again. Financial. Could be even the. Now she wouldn't be doing anything obviously until after the inauguration, but in the future. we do have Trump here. We do have a lot of the stimulus packages may need investigation. There's work for Elizabeth Warren to do in the future, is what I'm feeling these cards are telling me. In the past, we've got a crossroads, and here's our wolf again. There was a crossroads for her in some way. Was this giving up the candidate, being a candidate for president? There was a decision that she had to make in the past that was extremely important to her. It was a crossroads period in her life. We do have the Six of Swords as the potential in the future, and it is sitting above the Temperance card. This is all about finding balance and healing. The Six of Swords is about moving out of troubled waters and finding balance and healing in a situation. She's going to play a role, I feel, in a new administration, and it's going to be a very strong role that will bring back balance. Okay, the Empress card. This is, of course, is my card for Russia. It came up in the other reading at the base of the pack. So far I've got Trump here. I've got Trump in this reading. We'll keep going. Here she is, the Queen of Cups. Somebody who is nurturing. Somebody that also has a revelation to make. What's going on here? Okay, we've got partisanship in the environment around in the here and now. Well, of course, that's no surprise. I read a survey, the Gallup Survey, which I think is a bit skewed because it was done in, I think, early June, and it doesn't reflect what happened in June, where only 2% of Democrats think that Trump is doing a good job, but 91% of Republicans think he is. So we'll drill down on that in a different reading. But there is a highly partisanised, divided country here, and it's sitting alongside the Queen of Cups, which I feel is Warren. So let's keep going. The hopes and the fears. We've got support. The Three of Cups again came up in the here and now at the base of the pack for her. Circles of support. All right, we've got the Devil card here. What's going on? Let's get a clarifier. That's associated again with greed, with avarice. It's not a card that I would associate with Elizabeth Warren, but we've got a Two of Cups here. Partnerships, contracts. I mean, I've got Trump in the reading very heavily here. The Five of Pentacles came up in her work, what I would consider her work chakra. Is she going to take on Trump in some way? That's what I'm feeling. What's at the base of the pack here? The ending of the cycle. We've got news coming forward, and we've got the Hanged Man looking at something differently. I feel in the future she is going to play a very strong role in holding the Trump regime accountable. I'm going to go to this Devil card. Why is this in the outcome for her? Why is this in the outcome? Gosh, I didn't ask the question, will she be the VP, but I will. Temperance, okay, balancing the greed, the avarice, balancing it out, the Temperance card. She has a big role to play. Three of Pentacles, working again, I think, in a team. And we've got our Four of Cups. She's going to take that cup there, and she's going to do something extremely important in the future to bring forward truth. Wow. Okay. And our Five of Pentacles, it's like her calling here, readdressing inequality, injustice. We have the Ten of Cups, which is the voter, and we have our Two of Pentacles here. Again, these cards are coming up, juggling, again, taking on the financial sector, the money in politics. She's going to, in some way, bring balance back into the system. So, Elizabeth Warren is going to play a strong role in the future to bring back balance. Okay, I'm glad I did her as an influential person, because I've just been, not influential, inspirational, well, influential as well. I'm glad I did her today, because I've just had a really strong pull toward her. And I didn't intend to make this a VP reading, but I'm going to have to ask that question. If she's not a VP, then she will play this very strong role in a future administration. The road is long for Elizabeth Warren. She is willing to climb, to keep climbing. She is willing to keep moving forward. She is not going to go away anytime soon. Okay, Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, will she be the VP? Will Elizabeth Warren be the Vice President? Will Elizabeth Warren be the Vice President? Elizabeth Warren be the Vice President? Elizabeth Warren be the Vice President? Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry, but what came through, and I can't tell these clairvoyant images to take a number, but what came through was Trump in a sick bed. Page of Pentacles. Again, this is the money news, but let's keep going. Elizabeth Warren, Star of Hope. Her fate is tied to Trump in some way. So we've got the Page of Pentacles, some kind of money news coming forward. The reason that it's going to come forward is because that Star of Hope never left. It was always there from when I first started reading on American politics. It's always been there. Okay, the Four of Pentacles. Holding back information, insecurity. Two of Wands, having to play the waiting game. This is also money loss here as well. These are energies around the economy. Information and money that's been held back. So again, I get a draw to her playing some investigative role in the future, because in the what's crowning this reading is this new start, and it's an inspirational project. She's going to get something. I asked about the VP. She's going to get something where she's got work to do to address inequality. We've got the Fool card in the here and now. This is a new start for her. Environment around the Knight of Wands. This is looking pretty good. What's in the hopes and fears? The High Priestess. You know, it's been difficult to get a read on Joe Biden's vice president. It keeps changing all the time. And I think that is reflective of the discussions that have been taking place. Something is to be written. Something is yet to be written. Okay, the Page of Swords. Okay, so it is some truth that she's going to be bringing forward. Justice. We've got justice here, balancing those scales. And here's our Ace of Cups. It's quite possible she will be a VP choice. But right now, we've got the Nine of Swords, anxiety, juggling something. And we've got the Sun card, illumination. So if she is the VP, she'll play a big role in bringing justice to, particularly around financial inequality, and also investigation around that stimulus package. It may be that's what she's working on now in the Senate. Because the page is only a Page of Swords, I didn't see a definite yes card there. I can't say for certain that she will be a VP choice, but I can say for certain that she will have a huge role in bringing her skills into a new government. It is possible with that Ace of Wands that she could be handed the Vice President's baton, but it's not decided yet. It's not decided yet. So there is the reading. This isn't a VP reading, but those cards came up, and so I asked that question. I've pretty well done with Vice President readings because it just is not giving. I feel Spirit doesn't want us to actually know because I'm not getting a clear handle on it. But what I am getting is a big draw to Elizabeth Warren at this time. So make of that what you will. But I've been drawn to read on her as an inspirational person today. All right. Thank you for tuning into the reading. I'll be back again with another shortly. Thank you.